like I like people to be happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's always a good thing when people are happy because I get very unhappy when people are unhappy.
I know, right? So
I was
everybody got
very happy
everything.
last night. I got to see my friend Jim Fife,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that. He was a really
a
cool dude.
movie star.
You
Okay.
scared
Yes,
him with
Angelo,
showing my
those
name.
famous people. I keep telling everybody. See, nobody believes me, Amelia.
Mm-hmm.
That I know that all these famous people and they think I'm full of shit. Well, guess what? I bring them on the show all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you
And
hid for 5 seconds. You could not wait 5 minutes.
no, not at all. I said to her, I said, Amelia, so
Uh,
do me a favor when Jim gets here.
mm-hmm.
Don't mention that you know me.
No.
I'll be out on the backstage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be in the silhouette, right?
Mm-hmm.
Said just talk like it's your show and
I
blah
was
blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking, and I'm like, I got to get in on this conversation. So I
Yeah.
just it wasn't like 5 minutes. I was in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He goes, but your name right there. He goes, why is the pit bull? What's going on? I was like, oh, don't
How'd
worry.
you
It's
get the name the Pitbull?
mm-hmm. And he
I
goes, yeah.
thought you were going to say Angelo gave it to me.
No, I said, well, this gentleman gave it to me because.
Right? Yeah.
And he's like, what did you
Gentleman.
do?
You
Ooh.
guys ready to do
Oh,
this
do you hear
thing?
that? She said, gentleman.
You ready to go live?
Let's do it.
Good, because we've been live for about 4 minutes already.
You see what she said? She goes,
It's 7 p.m. in New York City on Wednesday night. It's 4 p.m. in Los Angeles, California, 6 o'clock in Chicago, and 2 in the afternoon in Singapore. Hello, everybody. Mad Dog DeCipio with you on a Wednesday. Can you imagine that?
mm-hmm.
Tuesday, Wednesday. That's amazing. It's all week long. Tomorrow night, yet again, you get to see my handsome, lovely face. The Mad Dog and the Pitbull, and we are with the newest member of our team,
Yay.
Harry. Don't call me late for dinner, Wagner.
Jeffries. Carrie Jeffries.
Well, yes, I should say that we call her Wagner here because she's got like 12 puppies that she's always pulling around in a wagon. So but her name is Carrie Jeffries.
I do have a lot of dogs, though. So he
Yeah,
didn't.
well, we were telling us off air you got them fixed today, right?
I did.
That's always
All
fun.
25
Get
of
your
them.
dogs fixed.
All 25 of them, no.
No, just the three. Just the three.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, somebody joined us in the chat here. Who's there saying good evening to us?
Good
Let us know who
evening.
you are. Somebody
Good
on Facebook.
evening.
Good evening, Facebook user person.
Yeah, somebody on Facebook. Well, I'll
Well,
tell you what. We
Facebook.
have a special show tonight.
That's all.
I'm going to make I want this show to be up, kind of like up in nature. It's a sad show, really, because of what's transpired over the couple of weeks. And it's amazing to think that everything happened in the last 2 weeks is just unbelievable.
Yeah. And
Tonight
that was
we
a
are
freak.
we're saluting Lisa Marie Presley. We're doing our
Yes.
tribute to Lisa Marie.
Yes.
I want everybody to know that we were going to do this sooner, but we wanted to wait for everything to kind of settle down a little bit because everybody's been talking, everybody's been, the cause of death, yeah,
Mhm.
Yes,
Unfortunate, and I don't know what happened, and I
yeah,
did,
Gary had to go. She probably got a phone call.
and unfortunately, what happened is I did try to record it under the new emblem that I had here, but it did not record. So we're doing this a
Yeah,
different
well,
way.
what Amelia is telling everybody is that she's screwed up, is what happened.
Well, I'm new to this because I got my own show after all, but the TikTok that we did was a little prank. But guess what? It didn't turn out to be a prank.
Who's this?
I guess it's a friend
Ramsey
of Miss Jeffries.
Dunkel. I don't even know how you say that name. Well,
Uh,
hello, Ramsey. Glad you're here.
uh,
Um,
Hey,
I
it's
guess
gonna
it's a
be
friend
everything.
of.
well, I'll tell you, Carrie, somebody's saying hi to you. Jennifer and
Hi,
Ramsey
Rams.
and
We
Trista.
got Miss Trista. Hi,
Hi,
You got a
Trista.
little
Trista.
fan club here. I'm glad you got a fan club with you,
Oh,
kiddo.
she's fast at the trivia questions. I tell you.
These are
She's
all my
better to
panda
look at
fam.
than me right now.
These are all my panda family.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad.
Yeah.
It's nice to have everybody here.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, welcome
Tonight
in, y'all.
a tribute to Lisa Marie. This is long overdue. We have to do this though.
Yes.
We actually have to do this.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Elvis fan, and I remember when Elvis passed,
Hmm.
everybody was on the immediately on the
Yes.
bandwagon. We didn't have podcasts back then, but we had radio stations like
Yes.
we are.
Yep.
And it was everybody was talking about Elvis. Well, now everybody's talking about his daughter. Elvis's little princess, Lisa Marie,
Sad.
left us suddenly. In fact, it would be got 2 weeks to the day on Thursday of this week.
Yes.
Don't you think about that? 2 weeks ago. And we were on the air, and we said the first thing we said at the beginning of that show was we send our well wishes to Lisa Marie Presley. We want her to
Yeah.
get well.
Hmm.
That was the show about
And
the
by the
horse.
end of that show, Carrie, she had
We got
passed.
bad news.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
and
sad.
she passed.
That was a
St-
weird week for me as well. My dad had lost
Crazy
a
shit.
cousin, and my brother-in-law had lost a brother as well, and my nephew's wife gave birth to a son, and we had
Wow.
his first birthday. I mean, it was just a weird week, unfortunately.
Yeah, strange stuff. It was a very strange, and the guy
Mhm.
that was a mentor to me in many ways. A
Mhm.
guy here in Philadelphia named Jerry Blavitt
Mhm.
passed away one year to the day
Hmm.
that my father passed away.
Oh my goodness.
And they knew each other very well. They grew up together. When he passed, I said, you know what, Papa, Jerry's on his way. He's going to talk.
Mhm.
Because
Amelia,
that's all Jerry did was talk.
you see what's going on right now, right?
Yeah, her light,
Yep.
her ring light's going crazy. Somebody
You've
else wants
got
to join in there.
spirit energy there. I will bet you there's spirit energy
It
there.
happens every night.
Yeah, we know who it is.
Yeah, we know who
They
it
do
is.
it every night. Only when
Mhm.
I'm live. Only
Mhm.
when I'm live.
Well, here's the
Yeah.
thing. It's all good.
Yes, he wants to join in too.
Whatever it is
Nikki
that's doing
Ward. Who's Nikki
attention.
Ward?
They want to.
Are you in Philadelphia, Mad Dog?
No, I'm not in Philadelphia.
Wow.
I'm from Philadelphia, but I'm not in Philadelphia.
Trista.
Where I am is at an undisclosed location at the moment, and that's how we keep it. I don't answer personal questions on the air. Never have, never will. Next question. So, evidently she doesn't have any more questions. So, Nikki, thank you. So I don't know who Nikki Ward is, but she's getting blocked right now. Goodbye, Nikki. See you later, sweetie. Okay. Here we go.
Hey, Jennifer.
Oh, she said that her.
I gotta block this chick. I gotta find out how to block her. Okay, try refreshing. Okay, how do you do that? Anyway, we're not gonna worry about it. So Amelia, let's talk about this. I'm gonna bring you up front here. Talk, because this is basically your show tonight anyway. So talk about Lisa Marie. When what were your first thoughts when you found out what happened?
I was just in shock that something had happened to her. Well, not really in shock, because at the awards show where she was there with Austin Butler nominated for an award, when when she was when she was actually there seeing Austin Butler talking to ET, she actually went up there with Elvis's former manager Jerry Schilling and it interrupted the interview.
Mhm.
She couldn't make it up the steps, so they had to go down there to see her,
Yeah.
and she
Yeah.
wasn't looking herself. Everybody noticed. Everyone
Everybody
noticed.
noticed is exactly right.
Mhm.
She was very unsteady.
Yes.
She was not stable at
No.
all. She looked very gaunt.
Yes.
But then you think about what this poor girl has been through
For the past 2
over
years.
the last couple of years,
Mhm.
and her son committing suicide
Yes.
and dealing with her father's estate. It's
Wow.
been very, very difficult, really difficult for, I mean, a young woman.
Yeah.
My pretty much my wife's age, like 54, right?
Yeah, she actually inherited the her estate when she was 25 years old, so she's had to really grow up at the age of
Yeah.
25.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
was hard
Crazy.
for her to do that and raise a family
Yeah.
in between
Well, and
husbands.
that was the problem with the Presleys. There's a lot of pressure to be a Presley.
Yes, very much.
It was tough for Elvis. It was tough for his daughter. It was tough for his mother and father to deal with. Elvis's mother drank herself to death.
Mhm.
Elvis's father just banged every woman he could find till he found somebody to marry him.
Oh, I know it.
You know, she found the gravy train when she married that man, and found an instant family for her boys.
Oh,
The
yes.
Lisa Marie wasn't so fortunate. She had a lot of weight thrust on her at a very, very young age. So,
Yeah.
Amelia, talk a little bit about what you think might have contributed to her downfall in health.
Well, first, her son, of course, killing himself, and then, of course, how much he
Mhm.
looked like her father, basically, and that was her pride and joy. That was her heart.
Yeah.
She even told him that all the time. She goes, "Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, I could just squeeze you. Look at how much you look like my father. I just can't believe it."
Yeah.
She would say to him all the time, if
Mhm.
I just can't understand how you could just look so much like him. Every day I look at you, it's like looking at him.
Man, it was scary
Yeah.
looking at that kid.
Mhm. And basically, also when she was 4 years old, when she was little, her parents divorced and going back and forth
Yeah.
to parent, and
Oh,
Yeah. You're going
and
to see something tonight that's never been seen until now.
Mhm.
A few people have seen this, but they all have special access for the. I'm going to premiere something. It's now on YouTube, so you'll be able to find this if you're looking for it. Before we do that, I want to play. Amelia, we love to do show and tell, but I'm going to
oh
do
yes,
show and
my
tell a little
favorite.
early. Let's just take a look at. We're not going to say anything. We're just going to let this play out, okay?
Yes.
Let's take a look at this.
okay.
Once I stood in the night with my head bowed.
Oh,
happened to our
Mm,
audio?
I'm not sure.
What happened to our audio?
It just quit playing.
Yeah.
That is rude.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what happened here?
It's one of them weird days, like I told
It's
you.
one of them strange nights.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, Carrie.
Yeah.
I may not invite you back because you're doing strange shit to my. This is so odd.
Yeah.
Did you know it was a full moon tonight? That's why it's doing.
This is. I'm sorry, folks. This is live radio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't even. I
We're
can't
showing
even
a tribute
control
to
this.
some
Crazy.
pictures of Lisa.
I I'm going to try this. I'm going to pull
Lisa
that
Marie,
video up.
please let us show
This is
videos.
so. I'm blaming Carrie for all this shit. This is
I
all
mean,
Carrie
the
tonight.
spirit of the ring light. I promise.
It's
No.
entirely possible. Let's check
Edward's
this
in the
out.
Matrix.
Here you go. We're going to do this again because I'm not going to let evil people.
Once I stood in the night with my head bowed low in the darkness as black as could be, and my heart felt alone, and I cried, oh Lord, don't hide your face from me. Hold my hand all the way, every hour, every day, from here to the great unknown. Take
Look at that little thinker.
my hand, let me stand where no one stands alone.
Miles and Henry.
Like a king, I may live in a palace so tall, with great riches
Oh, look at that face. Did you see that?
to call my own. But I don't know a thing in this whole wide world that's worse than being alone. For my hand
That's your son.
every day, from here to the great unknown. Take my hand, let me stand where no one stands alone. Take my hand, let me stand where no one stands
Did you see the look on her face as she was hugging Austin
She
Butler?
wished that was her son instead. I bet.
She looked like she was going to cry.
Mm-hmm.
Because think about what this man represents to her.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
He's the guy that brought her father back to life on the
Yeah.
big screen in a way that nobody. You realize there have been
Mm-mm.
over 100 movies made on Elvis,
Oh, yes.
and
Yeah.
most people don't remember.
Mm-mm.
Everybody's going to remember Austin Butler.
Oh, yes.
And the look on her face when she hugged him, it was like hugging her father again, hugging her son again,
Wow.
having that one. It's like that one last chance where you get to touch heaven for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now she really did get to touch heaven.
Because the last one I remember that they made was Elvis and Me when they came out with Priscilla's book and they made it into a
Oh,
TV
that
movie.
was a long time ago.
That's
Oh my
the
God,
last one that I remember.
a long time
Mhm.
ago. Oh God, that was
What, 10-something years ago?
in the 80s, middle
80s
to
or
late
so?
80s. Oh
Yeah,
my God,
that's the
yeah.
last one that I remember that they came close.
1986 is when
Mhm.
1986.
Yeah.
Elvis and Me.
That's the last one that I remember them.
Yeah.
You know, that's the last one I remember. Of anything after that, that's
Old. Y'all making me feel old.
You're making you feel old. I'm not gonna tell you what year I was born.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. Whatever is going on with Carrie definitely affected us because I just played the whole video.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, if you want that video, go to YouTube, type in Elvis the Tiger Man. It'll take you to the guy's page. The video is there. It's probably the most beautiful tribute to Lisa that I've ever seen. I mean, even the one that we did, and in fact, the one that we did, you didn't get to see it. What happened was, it froze up on Jerry Schilling and
Wow.
yeah, that's not it. No, that's not it at all. I want to show you the vid. Carrie's going to have to leave.
No, she's not. Don't tell her that.
No, I'm kidding. But
Don't do that.
this is. I'm only busting your chops. But unless you put the mojo on me again, then I'm cutting you out of here.
Tell him, Gary. Tell him.
All right, here we go. So now, this is. I want you just to look at these pictures. We can stop along the way.
Look at
That little girl looked like her father from the day she was born.
Yes, she did. Look at that.
And she looked like him growing up. And her and Priscilla could have been twins at one point.
Mm-hmm.
This is a sad but telling photo.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa Marie and her son Benjamin are lying in state together here.
Mm-hmm.
Right behind them, behind that meditation garden, Elvis is directly across. Elvis's dad, Elvis's mother, Elvis's grandmother, and there's someone else buried there that people don't know about. Elvis's twin brother, Jesse Garin, is also buried there. Yeah, and if you pull up the meditation garden on your big computer screen, don't use your phone because it's small. Use your computer screen because you can really enlarge it nice. You'll see there's a headstone there for Jesse Garin. He was Elvis's twin brother. Believe it or not, Elvis had a twin, which is a scary thought to think that there were two of those guys running around. There could have been anyway.
Right.
We don't know. Here's the thing, though, that we do know. We know that Lisa Marie, through her father and mother, had an amazing legacy. You look at Elvis here and look at his daughter. There's no denying who that kid belonged to.
No.
Jerry Schilling was Elvis's right-hand man. He did everything for Elvis. Axl Rose ended up being, I think, the hero of the day. I really do. I really believe Axl Rose ended up bringing people to tears with his rendition of the song that he wrote and composed called November Rain.
Oh, I love that song.
Because I'm a Guns N' Roses fan.
That's my
favorite. And I love anything that Axl Rose or Slash does. I love Guns N' Roses, and I love the guys individually because they're all amazing musicians. But Axel did a rendition of November Rain that just blew people away. Now, take a look at this picture of Lisa Marie. This was at the Golden Globes.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't look how thin her face is.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't look good. They said about the last year or so, she didn't look good at all. Now, there's a picture for you. What do you think Elvis would think if he saw this picture of Michael Jackson and his daughter together, married?
Elvis, I think,
Yeah.
would be turning over in his
Pop and
grave.
King of Rock.
I think the term would be rolling over in his grave.
That might be. How about you, Carrie? What do you think Elvis would have thought of MJ?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, just out of opinion, Elvis, his kind of style was different, but I don't think he would be too, not okay with it. I think he would be okay with it, honestly.
I think he'd be okay with it. I really do. I think, however, that Elvis questioned. Here's the thing everybody's talking about. I think Elvis would have been okay with it, but he would have questioned MJ's motive.
Right.
Why are you interested in my daughter? You're trying to get my money. Are you trying to buy my catalog like you bought Paul McCartney's catalog? Because MJ people didn't like MJ in the business because he was a wheeler dealer that used to buy catalogs out from under people. Now, he bought the Beatles catalog.
Yeah.
He paid $500 million for it.
Whoa.
But he made like 8-9 billion on it. I'm not even shitting you.
Jeez.
Please, folks, please, I implore you, go look it up. If you think I'm kidding, where does Angelo get these figures? He studies. He does his research, posted media. Here, I got one figure. Because you're number one with me. But we're keeping this on a good level here.
Mm-hmm.
We are we're not doing the what do you call that I'm sorry, the chat. We're not doing the chat anymore. I only did that for Carrie because she's here, her friends are with her, but we have disabled the chat on my end, so we're not doing it. So yeah, Lisa Marie looked really bad here. This was the interview you were talking about, Amelia.
Yes, that's the one that she was holding on to him. Everybody was saying that she was holding on to him like for dear life, basically.
Yeah. If you look at this photo, it's very interesting. Everybody's holding up pictures of Lisa. Who's the one person? Who's the one person there that sticks out like a sore thumb?
I would say her mom.
No. Axl Rose.
Oh, yeah. Well, of course. Yeah, of course. Axl Rose and her mom. Yeah.
No, her mom doesn't stick out. Her mother looks like she belongs there.
Mm-hmm.
Axl. Look, he's the only guy in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Except for this guy with the hat. Dad, he's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
He's off. Look where they put Axl.
Right,
they featured him prominently in that photo.
Mm-hmm.
There was a reason for that because he did one hell of a job of paying tribute. By the way, they were friends. Axl and Lisa Marie were friends. People don't know that.
Of course.
He said that was one place he thought he would never end up being was there, of all places. But he was happy to be paying tribute to his best friend. I think that's what he called her.
Yep. Best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Look at that face. Just like his grandpa.
He looks like his grandfather. Holy shit. Look at that. Look at his mother and look at him. That's Benjamin Storm Presley Keogh. That's his full name. Benjamin Storm Presley Keogh.
And if you look at the pictures,
son of Lisa Marie Presley and Danny Keogh.
She doesn't have that look of happiness. Well, she does with her other children, but anytime she took a picture with her other children and him, she's more of a happier person in all the pictures with him more than she is with her daughters.
Do you know why?
Because that's her pride and joy, her boy, her precious.
It's her only son.
Mm-hmm. I can understand that.
You're missing the bigger picture.
He looks like her father.
Here you go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's the bigger picture. That's why when this young man committed suicide, I really believe I'm telling you, I really believe that he he just lost. I mean, she just lost it.
Oh yes, I can
I
understand.
really believe that she just lost it
Hmm.
because I mean, how do you? Cause he was in his 20s. What was he like?
27.
27, right?
Hmm.
Another victim of the 27 Club, right?
Yes.
Remember, I told you before about the 27 Club?
27 Club, and it's not
There-
just in music; it's other type of.
There's something about the age 27, folks. And if you think I'm kidding, again, please Google it for yourself.
Mhm.
Look it up. It's called the 27 Club.
Yes,
I'm not even making this shit up.
and it's
You're
another
looking at
professions
Lisa
too.
Marie
Hmm.
and her date for the night, which is actually her date was her escort,
Hmm.
was Jerry Schilling. Jerry was an employee of Elvis first, and then became his friend, but still drew a salary from Graceland. He's been with Graceland. In fact, he's on the board of directors of Graceland. But Jerry Schilling is the only guy who stayed around. He's the only guy who did not shit on Elvis after he died. He's the only guy who did not shit on Elvis when he was alive, writing tell-all books about how many drugs Elvis was doing, what kind of drugs he was doing, how fat he got, how out of shape he got, all this other stuff. Jerry never did that. He always defended Elvis and always defended Lisa and his family. And here he is. If you look at his face here, he looks like he's having trouble keeping it together. Because
Oh
as
yeah.
soon as he got off the stage, he just lost it. You could, I mean, again, here, I want people to just, again, look. I'm going to make this bigger. Look at that picture of Lisa Marie and Austin Butler. She's clinging to him.
Very much so.
And look at the look on his face. He actually looks concerned. Look at his face, Amelia. Look at his face. He looks concerned, like something's wrong. And she looks like something's wrong. Don't forget, 2 days later,
She.
she died.
Hmm.
2 days. Like
I'm
not even
wondering. I wonder if
not
he told
even a full.
her.
But here's the thing, though, Amelia.
Mhm.
It's not even 2 full days, like a day and a
Mm-mm.
half. Because she died Thursday morning. This is
Right.
Tuesday night at the Golden Globe. And she was
Um,
gone a day and a half later.
I'm wondering if he asked her or told her something like, should you have come, should you have even come, maybe you should have stayed home and rested.
No, I don't think any of that conversation took place because I don't think anybody knew what was wrong. See, you know me. I read people. I read body
Hmm.
language. I read the facial expressions.
Hmm.
Austin Butler is looking at her in such a proud moment. And you could see that she doesn't look good here, but she's still trying to put on a smiling face for the camera. When somebody shoves a microphone in your face and a camera, well, they expect you to say something. There's again that sad picture of their graves. Tough. It's tough thing to do. I just don't understand how somebody, and they thought she was in. I don't know what they thought. I don't know if she told anybody that she wasn't feeling well.
Hmm.
I don't know if she that's Tom Hanks, by the way,
Hmm.
in that picture.
Wasn't it about a day or so or a few hours before the award show? She was doing an interview with somebody, and she went to Graceland and was taking them around the memorial garden and showing them,
Yeah.
and that maybe was
Sunday.
heavy on her heart.
No, don't forget Sunday,
Hmm.
January the 8th. Sunday, January the 8th was
Hmm.
Elvis's birthday. 88 he would have been.
Hmm.
Okay. Was Elvis's birthday. Lisa Marie gave a speech because she always does on his birthday. Tom Hanks was there. Austin Butler was there. That woman on the end, that's
Mhm.
with the lighter hair. That's her name's Rita Wilson.
Mhm.
That's Tom Hanks' wife. There's Tom Hanks. There's Priscilla. There's Lisa Marie, and the woman on the end here.
Mhm.
That is Lisa Marie's publicist.
Mm.
They're the people. She's the person who's responsible for getting you in front of the camera. You know, talk to this person, talk
Make
to
sure
that
you're on
person.
time. And,
Yeah, and they pull you out of there. And,
Mhm.
if they start asking too many questions, they get you the hell out of there.
Mhm.
Carrie's back.
Yeah, she was having her internet was going in and out because it's storming real bad over there.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yes,
okay.
and
We might have to remove her then.
also I think that she was talking about this is where I'm going to be buried next to my son, but it's going to be a long,
Yeah,
long time from now because I've got a lot of things to do, and I think that was also heavy on her mind. And
that actually was people overheard her say that.
Mhm.
There was an interesting thing that took place on that Sunday, the birthday anniversary of Elvis's birthday. Something interesting happened. Lisa Marie did something she hardly ever did. She went around and took selfies with people.
Mhm.
Okay.
And
Now, could
autographs.
you imagine Elvis back in the day with a cell phone and taking selfies? That's unfathomable.
He would
You
never.
know?
He would have been there for days.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing about Lisa and Elvis. They grew up in two different time periods.
Yes.
When Elvis died, we didn't have cell phones. We didn't
Mm-mm.
have portable cameras. We didn't have little computers you could stick in your pocket.
Mm-mm.
We didn't have any of that.
We didn't have anything like that.
The phones that you had were like this big,
Hmm.
and you couldn't put them in your pocket because they hung on your wall.
Yes.
They had cell phones, but they were in bags, big, heavy bags. Remember
Mhm.
them?
Yes.
And they had cords on them like 20 feet long.
Right. And
Oh my God, it was
if we
crazy.
had the ones in the bedroom, there were small rotary phones. But if you wanted privacy, you had to take the whole phone with you to another room, but you still had the cord, and they could still listen to you in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I
This
remember
is a
those.
picture of Boz Lerman, the
Hmm.
man with the white hair. He directed the movie Elvis. That's Boz Lerman, Lisa Marie, there's Austin Butler, and Priscilla. This is the last photo that she would end up taking.
Oh my
This picture here was taken at Graceland. This was taken at Graceland. She did an interview. Here you go. Now look at this. Austin Butler they did a hell of a job with him.
He looks amazing.
Yeah,
Like
but you know what the funny
younger.
thing is? Here's the funny part. People don't know this.
Mhm.
Austin Butler is blonde haired.
Hmm.
Guess what? So was Elvis.
Yes, I heard
Elvis
that.
had blonde. People don't know that. Elvis Presley had blonde hair. Because there are pictures. Go
Yeah,
look on the internet.
yeah. He was born
Elvis
a blonde,
Presley, blonde hair.
but he liked black hair instead, so he would always dye it black.
You know why? Because his favorite actor, this is how he ended up with the black hair.
Hmm.
His favorite actor was Tony Curtis.
Oh wow.
His favorite singer was Dean Martin.
And female
And
singer was
they
Anne
both
Murray.
think about something, Amelia.
Hmm.
And after the show, Google this if you think I'm
Hmm.
kidding.
Hmm.
Tony Curtis and Dean Martin had the same hair. They had
Hmm.
that beautiful wavy black hair.
Hmm.
Okay. It was called jet black.
Yes.
And it really showed up good on the movies and television. So all the actors back in the day were getting their hair done like dark jet black. Here's
Yes.
Carrie.
And it showed up really good on camera because back
She's
then a lot of
back.
it was black and white. So it showed up really, really well in camera.
Yeah.
It's storming cats, dogs, turtles, and everything else outside.
Honey,
So
you want us to let you go tonight because you're going to be in and out of here.
I'm good. I'm good.
Are you sure?
Yep. I got it
I'll
on.
tell you what. I feel so bad for you because you've had like the day from hell.
No, it's good. I won't be going nowhere else.
Okay.
We're good. We're good.
I got it. You know what, Carrie? Well, since you're here, why don't we do this?
Mhm.
Look at Elvis and look at his grandson. Okay. I'm going to ask you a serious question. This young man committed suicide at the age of 27. While you were gone, I was telling everybody about the 27 Club. You know what it is, right? Okay. Do you think that this young man's suicide was a direct result of being Elvis's grandson, or do you think that a deeper problem runs in the Presley lineage? Don't forget, Elvis did drugs. He was a drug addict. A hell
Yeah.
of a singer, a great actor, but he
Yeah.
was a drug addict.
Yeah.
His mother did drugs. I'm sorry, Elvis's mother drank.
Right.
Lisa Marie did drugs. So Benjamin, this young man Benjamin, he'd be hard pressed like to not. I don't want. How do I want to say this? To fall into that trap. But I don't know if I want to believe that totally. So convince me of what you think led to his suicide, because he killed himself with a gun.
I mean, looks can be deceiving, but just by looking at the picture, just the frame of his face, and I mean, I can't judge, but
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't look like I'm going to do it because this is my family legacy deal. He's got a lot in his eyes that says I'm battling with a lot of shit. To
Can I
me,
tell you
like,
something?
it's a lot of depression and anxiety.
Can I tell you something?
Mm-hmm.
You're not the first person that said that. In fact, I heard a doctor say that. They said the eyes are the windows to the soul.
You can see it in,
Look at Benjamin's eyes. He looks like to
yeah,
me, and I looked at this kid's picture. I must have looked at this photo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even lying, 50 times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 40 to 50 times. I've seen this photo like over and over again.
yeah,
His eyes look troubled.
They do.
He looks like he's got the weight of the world on him, and he looks like the song that Elvis did, Trouble. If you're looking for trouble, you came to the right place. Because that's what Benjamin looks like. He looks like,
Yes.
I'm ready to rumble.
Mm-hmm.
his eyes to me kind of look like, and I mean, he's not a serial killer, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
but he's got the look of like the Jeffrey Dahmer eyes.
Yeah, but look at his
I mean,
eyes and
he's
look at Elvis's eyes. Elvis's eyes are smiling.
well,
Mm-hmm.
he's
This
kind
this
of
kid,
confused.
and I have to call him a kid. This
Yeah.
kid,
He's
he
scared.
looks like he's up to no good. And I
He's-
never knew that. Forgive me, God. I
Uh-huh.
never knew this kid. I never met him. I never met any of them. I never
Mhm.
met, Priscilla or Lisa Marie or any of them.
Yeah.
I did meet Elvis once, very briefly. But I can tell you that he didn't look like that when I met him. He was like 275 pounds and could barely walk. He wasn't the Elvis of 1955. I could tell you that. What I'm saying though is this kid looks he's got like a world of trouble. Speaking of a world of trouble,
Mhm.
Nicolas Cage, the ultimate Elvis collector, right?
Mhm.
He loved Elvis so much he married Elvis's daughter, and she couldn't stand him. Okay,
They married
they
for like 5
married.
minutes.
You know what I'm talking about? Did
Yeah.
you read that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's absolutely true.
Mhm.
Lisa Marie was of the mindset that Nicolas Cage thinks he's going to get the ultimate Elvis trophy, and she put the kibosh on that shit real fast.
Oh yes.
Yep, their marriage lasted 2 months.
Yeah. August, and then I think they got divorced in October.
I love this picture. I don't know why. Austin Butler did such an amazing job playing her father. I think it. Can I be honest with you guys? And I'm going to tell you something that may come as a surprise coming out of my mouth. I think that movie hit home with her in such a profound way. I think she wanted her father back. I think she wanted her dad, because here she is looking at this young guy, Austin Butler. By the way, he's only 30 years old. He's only 3 years older than her son was. In fact, Had her son lived, he would be 30 years old. Think about that. Think about that.
Or if only her son had lived, he'd be the one playing the part of Elvis in the movie.
He very well may have. I got news for you. You may be more right than you know.
Yes.
Because it's scary to think Austin Butler is the same age as Priscilla's son, if had he lived.
Mm-hmm.
I think that when she saw that movie, because if you looked, did you watch the Golden Globes, Carrie? Your microphone's muted, sweetheart.
Sadly, no.
Okay, Amelia, did you watch the Golden Globes?
I watched the part where he won the award.
Okay, when he won the award, she was bawling her eyes out. Her and Priscilla both were bawling their eyes out. Because I think Priscilla was still in love with Elvis to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Lisa realized this guy's playing my father, and I want my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think it really hit home with her that, that he's not here. And I think it all, can I tell you what I think? And you don't laugh at me? I think it broke her heart.
Yeah, it did.
I think that movie, Amelia, broke her heart.
She wanted her daddy and her son back, and I think she died of a broken heart.
Yeah.
Especially considering her father and her son
could be
looked identical to each other.
Mm-hmm. Look at that.
Now,
that's a hard burden to
here's look at this kid. This kid's got Elvis all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
That's all hard.
Now, this here was one of the last Hollywood acts that she did. What it was, Lisa Marie, Priscilla, and I don't know. Oh God, I don't know the other woman over here.
Her daughter,
Riley Keough.
Riley.
Riley Keough.
Mm-hmm.
Mother, daughter, and granddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
What they did was on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Elvis has his own star. What they did was they made a block and they put 3 stars in it. Priscilla Presley, Lisa Marie Presley, and Riley Keough. They all have their own Hollywood star on the Walk of Fame now because they're all Presleys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
And this was one of the last official things that she did there.
Wow.
It's sad to think that her legacy ends there.
Right.
She was the last connection to Elvis. Do you realize that?
That's so
Do
sad.
you realize that, Amelia? I'm gonna bring up
bloodline. The last bloodline, basically, like the actual true.
That's exactly right. She was the last of the bloodline. You bet.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
But
that is very crazy.
Wow.
So, Mil, talk to me a little bit about the service. It was an interesting service they did for Lisa Marie.
Mm-hmm.
How inevitably, how do you think she was remembered at her service?
I think she was remembered honorably and beautifully. I mean, not only did they had her mom speak as well, Sarah Ferguson, Duchess of York, actually spoke as well, because she said, "My true friend, my confidant." They.
And can I tell you something? And I thought I knew a lot about the Presleys, but I got news for you.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a damn clue that they even knew the Duchess of York.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea that they were even friendly.
Mm-hmm.
But it was interesting, though, that Sarah Ferguson referred to the Queen, the late Queen, rest her soul.
Mm-hmm.
She referred to Queen Elizabeth as her mother-in-law, not ex-mother-in-law.
No. Wow.
Yeah.
I think in honor of her and her passing.
Oh, God, yeah. That's a big deal. A big deal.
Yes.
Huge deal. Because you know how the royals can be very stuffy,
Right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, Carrie, let me bring you into this conversation. I'm going to bring up on the big screen. How do you think inevitably or invariably Lisa Marie will be remembered by history? And then that's the first part of the question. And secondly, how do you think she'll be remembered in the music business?
Well, let's break down the first part by history. Um, Really, her history falls in line with her dad, so it's always going to come back to her father regardless, because she was,
Yeah.
you know, the Presley.
Yeah.
As far as in the music business, though, I don't think she'll be remembered like in the music business for her name, but for, again, back to her father, and then bringing
You said
to
the magic word,
Michael.
Carrie. And I want you and I to have this conversation, right? Because you went right there, as I
Mhm.
hoped you would. And it breaks my heart too, Carrie, that
You don't
she's
hear much.
not going to be remembered
No,
for her
No.
You realize that this girl sold 2 gold albums. She sold 2 gold albums.
Mhm.
You know how many records you got to sell to get a gold record?
oh, a lot.
You got to
Mhm.
sell 500,000 or more to
Yep.
get a gold record. She's got 2 gold records,
Mhm.
2 gold albums.
Yeah.
So she sold over 1 million albums, at least 1 million,
Mhm.
to get 2 gold records. But she's not going to be remembered for that,
Yep.
and that breaks my heart. That makes me sad that she's going to be remembered not as Lisa Marie Presley, singer songwriter. She's going to be remembered as Lisa Marie Presley, Elvis's daughter.
Daughter.
So
Yes.
how does that
Yeah.
carry? How does that jive? How does that jive through history? Are people, will they ever recognize her? Or
Oh,
oh,
her internet went out again because
well,
of
how
the.
about you, Amelia? Let you take that one.
Mhm.
How do you think she'll be remembered by the history at large?
Basically, as Elvis Presley's only daughter. That.
Sorry about that. So
Go ahead.
I
Okay,
Go
meant
ahead.
to expand my screen.
Mhm.
Um,
yeah, yeah.
so
Carrie has to tell everybody. Carrie's in the middle of a wicked storm.
yeah, I
So
apologize.
her internet is going in and out like crazy.
Mhm.
So,
Well,
but
that was my fault that time. I
Now
meant
go
to
ahead and
expand
take
my
that
screen.
question, Carrie. Go ahead and put her back on the
Um,
front there.
yeah, go ahead.
so you're talking about like lifelong, right? Like
Mhm.
Yes,
in the future,
exactly.
Yes.
say 2050
Yeah,
or whatever.
Mhm.
I hate to say it this way, but not Aaron, Jesus, Elvis Aaron Presley. Don't know why I was saying Aaron first,
yeah.
but
There is an
he's
Aaron
always,
connection.
yes. Oh
Mhm.
my God. He's always going to be remembered regardless because he was the king, you know. Same for MJ. He was the
Yeah,
king, you know, going down the line. Will they remember her for anything other than her dad? Probably not. And it sounds really
yeah,
bad to say in 10, 15 years from now, Lisa Marie who?
yeah.
Like,
Well,
I
here's the
can't see.
funny thing about what you just said. It's funny that you said 2050. It's funny that you said that because in the 1950s,
Right,
people said Elvis will be remembered for the next 100 years. And in 2050 and 2060 and 2070,
right.
they'll still remember Elvis Presley. My wife and I were talking about this last night.
Mhm.
You realize he's been dead for almost 50 years and his
Yes.
music is bigger now than it was when he was alive? Do
Mhm.
Wow.
you realize he's been dead longer than he lived? He
Wow.
died when, think about something. I
That is
want
a
you to
long.
let this sink in. He died when he was 42.
Wow.
Let that sink in. He was 42 years old when he passed away. And
That's
look at the stuff that he did in the 20 years that he performed. Okay? It's
yeah.
mind blowing. It's mind blowing. He made $1 billion when money was worth something.
Mm.
Okay, he made $1 billion. He sold more albums in the history of music than Michael, the Beatles, the Stones, even to this day. He holds the Guinness Book of Records for most, uh, the most, how do they say the most
Uh,
recorded
Recorded.
artist in history.
Mhm.
Okay,
The most
The-
like record sold
The
something.
biggest, yeah, the most sold. Thank you.
Right.
I knew I had a brain fart. Sorry, Carrie, I had a brain fart. But think about it. Think about that.
Wow.
42
Wow.
and did all of that and did 35 movies and did 2,000 concerts and died at 42.
That's a lot.
Mm.
That
What?
man never stopped working. But then again, he couldn't stop working because Colonel Parker was getting his share and gambling in away in Vegas. But that's a whole nother show, which we are going to do again. But it's sad to think that this young lady is going to be remembered for being Elvis's daughter. And maybe that's in the final analysis, Amelia, is that a bad thing?
Well, I mean, it could be a bad thing and it couldn't be a bad thing. I mean, Elvis's daughter, only daughter, but then you also want to be remembered for something that you did yourself, basically.
Yeah.
Well, true. And that I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up. She actually did quite a bit of great music. So now,
and charity
whose
work.
responsibility is it? Well, here's the question, though. Both of you. And I'm sure you're both going to have different answers for it because I know how you two ladies work. I really do. Because Carrie is the anti-Amelia, and Amelia is the anti-Carrie.
Sweet. I'm
And
sorry.
that's why you get along so well because you're like frickin' frack.
You're sweet.
You know?
So that works.
It's yeah, exactly. So here's the question for both of you then.
Unless
Whose
you pick on somebody.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a question out of here. Shut up. Marty, the two of them. See how it happens, folks? You got two women on the show, you lose control. Oh my God. And I lost control the last time they were here too. Oh, these two. Oh, you guys are going to have a hell of a time together. So here's the question then. Seriously. Whose responsibility should it be to keep her music alive? Like we're keeping Elvis's music alive, right? All these 50 years now, right?
Yes.
Well,
No, I'm sorry. 50. He's been gone for almost 50 years.
right.
And so looking at maybe 80 years, 1956, okay?
Yeah.
That's a long time. 80 years, let's say, right?
Yeah.
People are keeping Elvis's music alive. Who's going to keep Lisa Marie's music alive?
I guess the only person that can is her daughter.
Yeah.
Well, she's
And-
got,
If her
she's
daughter
got
wants,
3 daughters. She's got the twins and a daughter that's an actress.
Yeah.
By the way, she's going to end up with Graceland. Riley Keough is going to end up with Graceland, and so are the 2 other little girls.
The twins. Yes.
Their names are Finley and
they're Finley and Harper.
Finley Lockwood, and what is the other one?
Harper.
Finley and Harper Lockwood. They are the children of Michael Lockwood, who is my friend here on Facebook. But interestingly, Michael's in the music business. But here's the funny thing. So is Riley Keough's father, Danny Keough. He's in the music business too.
Yep.
So they both have the power to keep her music alive.
they do.
Here's my question. Will they do it? Carrie, will they do it?
I think it's a lot to take on. Maybe not. I mean, don't get me wrong. She doesn't really have as much of a legacy as her dad.
I have to respond to Jess. And I absolutely agree with you, Jess. Here's the problem. And I say this with all due respect. I cut Carrie off, and I always do apologize when I cut people off. That's true. Amelia will tell you because I cut her off every show. The problem is if I don't get it out, I forget. I have a little short-term memory loss. Plus, I'm 64. I'm an old fart, and I'm doing good to remember my name half the time. Okay, so it's no
Angelo.
it's
It doesn't mean any
no
harm.
disrespect to Carrie, Jess, when I tell you.
No.
But just watch the show. It's not hard to watch. It's really easy to watch. Just remember, the old guy, feel sorry for the old guy because he's fucking old. Okay? And just, and go about your business and we'll all have a good time. Here's the thing though, and I thank you, Carrie, for defending me there. I appreciate that.
You're just rustic. That's all.
Yeah. Angelo should be an Angelo. That's all. Trust me.
He's just rustic. He's fine.
So, as we close this out, what's the final word, Carrie?
Do I think that they'll do it? Keep her legacy alive?
Hmm.
I'm going to lean towards no. I'm going to say no.
Okay. How about you, Mel?
Her legacy is as big as her dad was, so it's really not going to be a benefit to them, honestly. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Well,
look at how the past years
I have a question for Jess in the chat room. Jess, if you're still, if you haven't left me yet, and I hope you haven't, if you're still there, I have a question for you, Jess. What happens to Graceland? What happens to Graceland in 10 years, 15 years? Does it still remain a Presley property? Or do the kids sell it off to some corporation? And I'm very serious about this question. I'm being totally serious. So if you're still there, Jess, I would love to hear your answer. While we're waiting for Jess to answer, let's listen to this. It's a beautiful, beautiful song. I give credit to Axl Rose, who wrote it, recorded it, composed it.
Favorite song.
I love this song. Here you go. It's November Rain.
It's a good song.
Mm-hmm.
Carrie, I'm going to smack you, I swear.
While we're waiting for that, I would think that they may not be able to work together at first. They're going to try, but I think if Joey Schilling helps, they might.
Here we go.
Oh, wow.
That piano.
My favorite piano.
I just end up walking in the cold November rain. Do you need some time on your own? Do you need some time all alone? Ooh, everybody needs some time on their own. Ooh, don't you know you need some time all alone? I know it's hard to keep an open heart when even friends seem out to harm you. But if you could heal a broken heart, wouldn't time be out to charm you? Some time on your own? Do you need some time all alone? Oh, everybody needs some time on their own. Ooh, do you know you need some time all alone? Subside and shadows still remain. Ooh, yeah. I know that you can love me when there's no one left to blame. So never mind the darkness, because we still can find a way. Cause nothing lasts forever, even cold November rain.
That was beautiful.
Oh wow, it
Axl
was.
Rose never disappoints.
Wow.
Speaking of not disappointing, my new bestie Jessie, she came up with a great answer.
Mhm.
Graceland is a staple. It will continue to bring tourists in. I think the kids will keep it, or it will become state property. As long as tourists come, money is coming. And you're absolutely right. That place, that 14-acre property called Graceland, is a cash cow. No,
Mhm.
they are not giving up that cash cow.
Nope.
The one thing it's got going for it, Jess, is that Graceland, fortunately, Priscilla was smart enough to set up a board of directors just for such occasions should
Mhm.
someone pass away, should a member of the family pass away. I want people to know something. I don't even know if Jess is aware of this. Graceland, after Elvis died, went into foreclosure. Priscilla saved it. She said, look, the
Mhm.
only way we're going to save this place is to turn it into a museum and charge people to come here. And I want to tell you something, folks. If you go to Graceland today, it looks exactly as it did in 1977 when Elvis died. They didn't touch. When I tell you, I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
They didn't touch a thing.
Behind glass and everything.
So now, thank you, Jess. I appreciate that. That's a great answer. She's my new best friend now. So Carrie just told Jess, Angelo is he's down with you, so everything's cool. Amelia, tell everybody why are you laughing at me? Tell everybody what's coming up tomorrow and what we got coming up next week. What's going on?
Tomorrow we are going to be going over the Denver airport, the conspiracy theories and bunkers underneath. Then we're going to go and find what's under that rock, see what we can find.
Well, they say that the Denver International Airport is the Illuminati headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there is some compelling evidence to support that.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, Denver is having a lot of fun with this at that's conspiracy theorist expense.
Exactly.
They're embracing the whole, UFO thing, the reptilian thing, secret bunkers underground.
Mm-hmm.
They even have, you can't believe this. They even have a talking, I can't make this stuff up, a talking gargoyle. Okay?
Yes.
That talks to passengers that are coming off of planes. You can't make this shit up.
Nope.
And they have a 20-ton blue horse, a stallion called Lucifer. You can't make this shit up, folks.
Wow.
With glowing red eyes at night.
Glowing red eyes. It's freaky. And the sculptor who did this horse died when the horse fell on him.
Yes.
When he was finishing up the sculpture, the horse fell on him and killed the sculptor. You can't make this.
Can't make that up.
You want to hear something?
And why would you want to anyway?
Want to hear something crazy? It's not related to the Denver thing, but I know somebody personally, and I'll explain, and you can look it up. That lived in Presque Isle, Maine. Okay, it's been about 30 years ago, and they dug an underground bunker on their property.
Yep,
and put guns and all kinds of shit there, and somebody just happened to see them coming out of the woods. And the person went and investigated the woods to see where they were coming from. Seen some disturbance of the ground and realized there was something there. They uncovered it, called the state police, and had them arrested. Those people were my family.
Wow.
Is there paperwork to support that?
Yep.
Can I have it, please? Send it to me or Amelia.
I'll look up the article. It's actually the McNallys. If you look for
don't tip the hat. Just send me the stuff.
Yeah. I'll send it to
Send it to Amelia.
Pretty thing, and then they got in trouble, but he's a preacher. He's a pastor.
Oh, he's a preacher.
Yeah, he owns.
Oh, God, that's even better.
Yeah, it's on the property.
Now you got me interested now. That's even better. Holy shit.
Yeah, so it's.
Well, I'll tell you what.
They own their own church and everything on the same property. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. It's interesting for sure. I gotta find out the story over here.
I know. Once you give him a good idea, he's gonna have to find out.
Hey,
because I love this kind of conspiracy stuff. I love it.
I'm all for Christian people. Don't get me wrong. I don't judge people by religion, but they're like super freak Christians.
I know quite a few myself like that.
Yeah, they're super.
I really do.
They're like, you can't watch TV.
Yeah.
So they really woo.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Carrie, we're going to have to let this one go tomorrow.
Yeah.
At Denver Airport next week. The first full show without me. Amelia and Carrie Jeffries will be here. 2 peas in a pod, and the show, I called it what it is. The Big Mouth.
It's
because of Amelia?
No, because of you.
Oh, because me?
Yes.
You know what? You're both on the shit parade tonight, okay?
Hey,
well, I'll tell you what. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Jess. You made my night. I appreciate that. My best friend's dad helped me design. Oh, no shit. Wait, Jess really is my best friend now. Jess, Can you get me info on that? I'm serious. Send me info, whatever you got, okay? In the meantime, folks, I got to say goodnight and goodbye to everybody. On behalf of Carrie Jeffries, on behalf of Amelia, the Pitbull Chapman, I'm Angelo, Mad Dog DeCipio. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Well,